You know, there's something missing for this movie review. Yeah, that's a lot better. Oh, well, we'll go back to another movie review on the channel, and finally, we have an MCU movie after 2 freaking years. It's been 2 damn years. Like, that's way too long. It's really way too long. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that we finally have an MCU movie in theaters, and oh man, does it feel so good to finally see an MCU movie in theaters? Because the last MCU movie I saw in theaters was Spider-Man: Far From Home, which was freaking 2 years ago for me. Like, oh my god, it's just insane. It's just insane. But hey, the wait was worth it. Sure, it may have been. It was short, and I can understand if it wasn't worth it for you or anything. I don't know. Everyone's got different opinions, but the wait was worth it for me. I waited patiently, and yeah, the wait was definitely worth it. And did I enjoy the movie? Yes, I definitely enjoyed the movie. I had a blast watching it, and also do check out my movie vlog on the icon thing right here. Since I did just upload that just now, like a couple of, I was like an hour ago or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's get down to business, shall we? Also, one more thing to mention. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. Now, I'm trying a new thing here on the channel, doing spoiler-free reviews. But still doing spoiler reviews, but spoiler-free reviews. I've done one for F9, along with part 2 and 1 for Fear Street. So, let's hope I do my best on not spoiling pretty much the entire thing, because there's a lot of stuff I would like to talk about for Black Widow, especially that post-credit scenes. But let me know in the comments down below if I did okay making this a spoiler-free review. Anyways, let's get down to business. Anyways, now I gotta be honest with something. So this is technically my third or fourth try of making this video, because the other couple of tries I'm like, oh crap, what do I say? So luckily I was able to take some notes on what to say. Now most of them are kind of positive, since like I said a couple of times. Like I think in my I don't know which video it was. Like I said something about it will definitely not disappoint. Like come on, well, how could it disappoint me? It's a Marvel movie. I don't know where I said that. I know I said something like that in another video, but it didn't disappoint me at all. So yeah, it didn't disappoint me. So thank God for that. Now again I took a couple of notes because I didn't know what to say. So took a couple of notes. But anyways, let's get down to business. So of course Scarlet Witch. I almost said Scarlet Witch. I meant to say Scarlett Johansson. So of course Scarlett Johansson is again amazing as Black Widow, and but for most of mostly some of the characters kind of stole the spotlight. And those characters would be Red Guardian and Yelena, which is Natasha's sister. They were both funny as heck. And Taskmaster, now he was a cool villain. You know, he was a cool villain. And the twist, I thought was cool. But it was mostly interesting. The twist it was cool, but it was mostly interesting. Now, back in the past, people have been speculating that this would be R-rated. I'm like, oh no, don't be R-rated. I don't want this R-rated. People have been speculating to be R-rated, and I'm like, it's gonna be PG-13. Each MCU movie is PG-13, and of course it is PG-13. But honestly, it's kind of 50% PG-13 and 50% R-rated. Not as in R-rated blood violence. You know, like for example, there's a like but I don't know. I can't think of an example of an R-rated movie, but it doesn't. It's not that violent. I mean, it's a little bit violent, but by what I mean for R-rated violence, it's not as there's blood scenes going on. Like, uh, um, this is actually hard to explain, but I wrote it down here. It's not as in R-rated violence. It's not like that R-rated. It's just yeah, it's very hard to explain, but it's not that R-rated as in, for example, Deadpool, which is R-rated. It's got some pretty hardcore gore violence in there, but it's not that violent. But yeah, my honest opinion is that it's kind of 50% PG-13 and 50% R-rated. Why? Because this is honestly one of the darkest MCU films I had ever seen. Not that it's a negative. Like, I mean, there's a couple of dark moments in here that I just like, dang. I mean, and the last thing that I had saw that was kind of dark for the MCU was, of course, pretty much John Walker killing someone with a shield, which we all know what happened there. That was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. But yeah, that was one of the last things I saw that was kind of dark for the MCU. Just John Walker killing someone, bashing someone's head with Cap's shield. Oh, that got really dark. But yeah, this is of course taking place after the events of Captain America Civil War, which we all know what she did in Civil War. She kind of tased King T'Challa, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, Wakanda forever, then let Cap and Bucky get away, and she pretty much broke the Sokovia Accords, which I'm pissed about the Sokovia Accords. Like, Jesus. I blame General Ross, Secretary Ross, whatever his name is. I know his name is Ross, but I blame him and his stupid Sokovia Accords, because if it weren't for the stupid Sokovia Accords, the Avengers would have never broke up, and they would have been able to actually defeat Thanos, and that's something I'll probably talk about in my Civil War movie review and my Infinity War movie review. But yeah, and this is most likely a prequel to Avengers Infinity War, and I've got some vibes for this movie that this movie is kind of a little bit related to Solo, a Star Wars story. How? Let me explain. So, Black Widow and Han Solo both died. Well, Black Widow died in Endgame, and Han Solo died in The Force Awakens. So, they both died, sadly, but they both got their own solo movies. But they were mostly prequels. Like, of course, Solo, a Star Wars story is, of course, a prequel to the original trilogy, so we all know that. And Black Widow is also a prequel to Avengers Infinity War. So, yeah, that's something they have in common. Both Black Widow and Solo, a Star Wars story. I mean, that's something they both got in common. Now, what else? And now, this movie does, of course, set up a couple of things for the MCU, especially that post-credit scenes. Now, honestly, the best part about this movie was the post-credit scenes. Like, I gotta give a shout out to someone who commented on one of my videos. Like, I gotta give a shout out. Where is it? It was somewhere around here. This may be hard to find, but I know it's somewhere around here. You want? I'm actually gonna go find who commented something on my videos. Alright, I found it. Shout out to C6 Solid 73. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. So you said, she or he said, I agree, best post-credit scenes. So yeah, that was honestly the best part about this movie, was the post-credit scenes, because it's honestly one of the best post-credit scenes I have ever seen. And this is technically the first movie, technically the beginning of Phase 4. Now technically Phase 4 had already begun with WandaVision earlier this year, but that's for Disney Plus shows. But for MCU movies, it's Black Widow. But it doesn't matter, because Phase 4 has already begun, like, earlier this year. But, like, oh my god, the post-credit scene just... I mean, this is technically a little spoiler, but I'm not gonna... It's a little bit spoiler, but I'm not gonna give full details. Now, the post-credit scenes didn't set up a movie. It set up a Disney Plus show. But I'm not going to say which Disney Plus show it is. You're gonna have to find out on your own, or guess. Feel free to guess, but I'm not going to say if you're right or wrong. And for those of you that see their guesses in the comments down below, don't tell them they're right or wrong. Just still, it sets up a Disney Plus show, which is insane. That is insane. Marvel has never done that. They've mostly done it for movies, but this just tells you that Marvel's got balls to make I'm sorry. Sorry, I could not talk correctly. Let me calm down for a sec. So this just tells you that Marvel's got balls to do crazy stuff to make us fans go nuts, go crazy, and that's just what I love about Marvel Studios. They got balls to make us go crazy by doing some crazy stuff. Like the best episode of Loki was episode 4. That was honestly the greatest episode in Disney Plus Marvel history. But yeah, what else? But yeah, post-credit scenes were the best. It was the best part about this movie. The post-credit scenes were the best part about this movie. And again, it does set up a Disney Plus show that we will actually be seeing later this year. So yeah, don't worry. You're going to see it in 2021. It's not going to be in 2022. This Disney Plus show will be released in 2021. Hopefully. Now, I'd say 75% Marvel fans will love this, and some 25% will hate. But honestly, 82% of Marvel fans are going to love this, and 18% Marvel fans are going to enjoy this. Now I can understand a few people's opinions with Black Widow, especially with Taskmaster and I guess the Black Widow ending. Now the ending, I thought it was alright. I thought it was alright. I thought it was alright. But yeah, I can understand what people are saying for Black Widow. And I guess I mostly agree with one thing. Actually, two things. One, the other thing is kind of a spoiler. That I will say in my spoiler review. But the second part is that we should have gotten this around phase 3. We should have honestly gotten it. But hey, it's in phase 4, and we're just gonna have to accept it. But still, it's just I cannot talk correctly. I cannot talk correctly. But still, so yeah, again, the best part about this movie was honestly the post-credit scenes. And for my most favorite characters in this movie, it's probably Red Guardian and Yelena, which is of course Natasha's sister. But yeah, and not Taskmaster, again, he's a cool villain. He's a cool villain. And again, with the twist, I can understand a few people are kind of 50-50 with the twist and how Taskmaster was in the movie. I can understand how they're kind of 50-50 with it, but honestly, he was a cool villain. And the plot twist, like I said, probably multiple times, it was cool, but it was mostly interesting. But anyways, let's get down to business. Now, I gotta admit something. So I had pretty much made 2 review scales. Now, this is the original one, because now, originally I was gonna give this pretty much 90%, 5.5 stars, and add it to your collection. But after doing some rethinking, like, I haven't seen an MCU movie in 2 years, and I had a blast watching it, and this is honestly one of the best MCU movies I have ever seen. Now, where would I rank it? Hold on, actually. I'm actually gonna... Hold on. I made a list. Hang on. Now, where would I rank this? Let me find it. Let me find it for a sec. Let me find it. It's somewhere around here. Now, I would rank this, like, between... Well, kind of between Iron Man 3 and Avengers Age of Ultron. I would rank it where it's somewhere between Iron Man 3 and Avengers Age of Ultron. But yeah. So, this is, of course, my original review scale for Black Widow. I will post it on my community page along with the updated version I made because, again, after doing some rethinking, I it's been like 2 years, and this is honestly one of the best Marvel MCU films I've ever seen. So yeah, let me get down to business now. The action, I'm going to give 5.5 stars, 90%. The action, I was going to give it 8 out of 10, but let's just say 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, 5 stars, 90%. And comedy, I'm going to give 3 stars, 60%. Red Guardian and Yelena kind of stole the spotlight and were funny as heck. And for drama, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars, 70%. It was interesting. There's a couple of dark moments that have happened in here, especially around the opening scene, along with Natasha's past. Like, there's some intense stuff going on in here. And I guess along with the dialogue, but yeah, there's some intense and dark stuff that are going down in this movie, which is kind of the reason why I had said that this is kind of one of the darkest MCU films I've ever seen. So, yeah, I don't know how kids will be able to see this, but at least it's PG-13. And again, it's kind of 50% PG-13 and 50% RA, but mostly PG-13. At least PG-13. But yeah, and for horror, I'm going to give 3.5 stars, 50%, because again, it is one of the darkest MCU films I've ever seen, and there's a really brutal battle going on with Black Widow. Like, she gets beat the crap out of the Widows. Like, oh man, that's technically a spoiler, but it's just, again, it's one of the dark MCU films I have ever seen. So yeah, I'm gonna give 3.5 stars, 50%. Now suspense. Now we sadly know that Black Widow is gonna make it out of here alive. She's gonna be all right. And I'm in the theater. I'm just like, okay, don't worry about Black Widow. She's gonna be fine. She of course makes it out alive. Don't worry about her. But I end up worrying about her anyways a little bit. But for the other characters, the suspense. I'll give 50. I'm sorry. I'm not talking correctly. I'll give the suspense 5.5 stars, 90%. The suspense was all right because you're rooting for Red Guardian and Malena, and along with Yelena. With Malena, I don't know if we're not pronouncing her name right. But you're rooting for Natasha's family because we want to see them again in the MCU. Especially Red Guardian. I would like to see him again in the MCU, and they should definitely make a movie about him and I guess the Russian Avengers. But yeah, I'll give suspense 5.5 stars, 90%, and I'm giving the movie 5 stars, 90%. Casual fans, B minus. Cinephiles, an A, and critically, A minus. No, not 8. No, 9 out of 10. I said this is my movie vlog. 9 out of 10. But yeah, 9 out of 10. And for the moist meter, 98%. But yeah, I'm definitely giving this the movie reward. Like, it's been too dang long. I haven't seen an MCU movie in 2 years, and the wait was worth it. But yeah, I will post these two on my community page, so do stay tuned for that. But do also stay tuned for my spoiler review for Black Widow, which I will be posting this Friday, so do stay tuned for that. But if you haven't seen Black Widow, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below without spoiling it. Like I said in a couple of videos ago, you don't spoil nothing. You can dump your spoilers in the comments down below for my spoiler review. Let's make this a spoiler free. Like we don't want to ruin the movie for everyone else. But again, leave your thoughts comments down below if you enjoyed it or didn't. Let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments down below without spoiling it. Spoiler free thoughts comments down below. But yeah, as always, I'll see you guys in the next movie review. Peace out.